apparently Jurassic Park needed a sequel because we got one in 1997. Well, in 1997, we couldn't get the whole gang back as Sam Neill and Laura Dern didn't return, but Steven Spielberg did, and he brought back Jeff Goldblum for the Lost World of Jurassic Park. Matt, what did you think of this one?
Well, first off, can you blame them? The amount of money, how popular the first one was. Of course they're gonna make a part 2.
Yeah.
And so what year did this come out? 90 what? 97. So as a kid, I liked this movie. It was great. I mean, nostalgia plays a big part in this again. I understand it's nowhere near as good as the first one. 100%. But I don't hate it. It's okay. It's very okay. You know, there's some stuff in here that just doesn't make sense. We'll get to that. But I don't hate it. I don't love it. It's not my favorite. I think I like it better than 3, but we'll get there as well.
Yeah, this is a movie that I remember very much when it came out. Like, I was young, I was in elementary school, but this movie was everywhere. It was on NASCARs, it was on commercials, it was in toys, I think at Burger King. I can't remember if it was Burger King or McDonald's, but this got a huge marketing push directed really right at people me and your age. They're pushing dinosaurs, and I ate it all up, and I remember in 97 or 98 when I got the VHS, I love this. And then it hurt me when I watched it this week to go, wow. Now that's a bad movie.
That's the last time you've seen it?
Since I was a kid? No, I've seen it since 97, 98, but when I was a kid, I used to watch this movie a lot too, and I loved it.
I still probably watch this movie once a year.
I haven't seen...
Because I have the sickness where I absolutely love Jurassic Park. I need to watch that at least once a year. But after Jurassic Park, I want more. I'm popping in Lost World, and guess what? I'm watching 3 and Jurassic World after that, so...
Yeah.
I can't not watch the entire franchise. I don't know why. The sickness I have, can't help it.
No, since we came back to this, since we're doing this, I think this might be the last time I watched this until now was probably 20 years ago when I got Jurassic Park 3 on DVD, because that was my first DVD, and I'm pretty sure I went and watched Jurassic Park and the Lost World of Jurassic Park at that same time, but I think I just stopped watching them. I just only watched the first one. And unfortunately, I could see why I did that, because this movie is just a run-of-the-mill 90s blockbuster, clear-cut cash grab, lost all its emotional core, because I don't think Jeff Goldblum should have been the lead.
I mean, I think this, like, we had this argument off camera, but I think the story makes sense. So let's actually have the argument on camera.
Yeah, I get that. The story to me, here's what it is. So in the first one, they had the island, and now they're trying to say that Dr. Hammond had another island that he was basically running the dinosaurs and letting them live in their own natural habitat.
He was breeding them, and that's where they grew up, and then when they were of age, well, that doesn't exactly check out because they were hatching on the first island as well.
Yeah, so basically...
There's small plot holes.
John Hammond...
Giant plot holes.
Yeah, you point that out. Jeff Goldblum says to Jeff Hammond when he sees him at the beginning of this movie, you went from capitalist to nationalist in 4 years, which is, like, completely true, because now he cares about... All of a sudden, now he cares about the dinosaurs. Given, I never really thought that he was a bad guy, Jeff Hammond.
No, he's not.
John
Hammond. No,
Yeah.
He's not. He's really not. He's an entrepreneur. He brought back I mean, he's playing God, as Jeff Goldblum would say. I mean, he didn't mean to hurt anybody. He didn't understand the power he was wielding.
Yeah.
Which makes sense, and I think the characters even brought that up in the first movie. Back to having the island, like, the island was their sanctuary, and there was supposed to be very little to no human interaction on this island, and it was a place... it was off the coast of the other island. I think it was like 87 miles, which is actually kind of far. But, you know, I mean, it made sense to me at least. And it maybe it was just a throwaway line.
Like, just to move the plot along, pretty much?
Right, yes.
Yeah, no, I agree, and it does make sense in a way. Like, definitely it's not the worst plot in the world, and even this movie's not the worst movie in the world. But like what we said, Jurassic Park is one of the best movies ever made, period. Mm-hmm. And I knew this could live up to it. But it was not really even near as good as the first one.
Yeah, definitely not.
No.
And
the CGI even fell apart too. I didn't think the CGI was as good as the first one.
I didn't bump into that. I don't think the CGI was terrible.
I was getting a lot of Phantom Menace vibes when those dinosaurs were running.
I don't think it got any better, but I don't think it got any worse, if that makes sense.
And I don't know, it just didn't work for me as far as that. Then the casting of Vince Vaughn. You said that worked for you.
I liked Vince Vaughn. I mean, I like Vince Vaughn. I'm a Vince Vaughn guy.
No, I love Vince Vaughn. Wedding Crashers, Dodgeball. Vince Vaughn is hysterical.
Old school.
Oh my god.
Earmuffs.
Yeah, I love Vince Vaughn. I just don't like drama Vince Vaughn. This is Vince Vaughn doing the remake of Psycho Vince Vaughn, where he's trying to be a serious dramatic actor. And I don't think that worked. But
I thought it was okay.
But let's move on to your plot hole that you want to talk about.
Yeah, so there is a giant plot hole in this movie, and this is what bothers me the absolute most of this movie. Who killed the crew on the boat? What dinosaur did this? Because in your mind you see the hand hanging on the wheel for the boat. You see some some limbs of the bodies spread apart, and you think, okay, a raptor would do this. But there was only one T-Rex and maybe the baby. No, not even the baby. Only the one T-Rex was on the boat. Mm-hmm. So how did this giant T-Rex get in the small quarters of the engine room and the
when you drive the boat?
Yeah, I forget the term, but how did he get in there and then put himself back into the storage hold?
Yeah, this comes across as like they realized they had a plot hole.
And not a single survivor?
Yeah. This feels like, oh shit, we had to fix that in editing, and that was the only way we can move the plot along without there being an issue. And it's pretty obvious. Matt noticed it, and then when he pointed it out, I was like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I don't understand at all how that happened.
They just spontaneously exploded. That's really the only thing that makes sense, because the T-Rex was still in the storage hold. There's no way he broke out, killed him in this small area where he doesn't fit, and then went back and locked himself back in. No way. Maybe because I googled this because this bothered me. Some people are saying the pterodactyls came and picked off the crew, but again,
that's just us.
You ever see a bird in Home Depot? They can get in, but they can't get out. Like once he gets in that small quarters, I feel like you're not, because there's a door. You know, how do you get out?
Nah, so it makes no sense.
And if the raptors, I don't think they're in the middle of the ocean. Yeah. But who knows?
But you know what? It does get better, this movie, because they do go to San Diego, and I loved it when they went to San Diego. I wish the whole movie would have been there. I think that was a lot of fun, and it was a good way to wrap up the movie. Mm-hmm. You know, watching the freaking dinosaur just walk through people's backyards.
Drinking out of the pool.
Yeah, like, that's a summer block.
Chlorine, but hey.
Definitely not good for him. Or her.
And he ate the dog.
Yeah.
Poor pup.
Yeah, didn't deserve that. But then again, who saw a dinosaur coming walking through your neighborhood? I love that, actually.
But what kind of family, who locks their dog up and leaves it outside all night? I understand they're in San Diego, it's a nice backyard, he's got his little dog house.
My grandfather used to do that with his dogs. They were never allowed in the house unless it snowed or rained.
Piece of shit, then, because my dog sleeps in my bed.
And he was a canine cop. Yeah, no, he never...
No.
I mean, different time. Different time. We wouldn't do that. My dogs sleep in my bed.
Yeah, same. My dogs sleep in my bed, too. Like,
yeah.
How do you...
People do that.
You sleep outside, asshole.
I know. You get eaten by the dinosaur. I completely agree. Different times, though, for different people. But I think as far as the rankings go, this is going to number 2 for now. And we'll see where it lands after we see a couple other ones.
Yeah. I'll stay there for a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't think 3 is better, but I don't remember.
We'll see 3, and then we'll see Jurassic World, which I do remember liking. So
yeah, Jurassic World was good.
But before we wrap this video up, we got to talk a little bit of physical media on this one.
So we are back to the set that you guys saw in the first one. So I won't go as in depth, but this has got that nice cardboard stock that we talked about. We love it. It's got that nice little reflective and the raised pattern. Just a beautiful, beautiful set. You know, you open it up. There's Jurassic Park 1, 4K, Blu-ray bonus features, the Jurassic Park, The Lost World, and it's got a nice screenshot from when they're in the trailers right before it goes over the edge.
I like that scene, actually.
Yeah, it's a cool scene. And then Jurassic Park 3. And then bonus features, Jurassic World, and back to the beautiful picture of the original.
Now, I have some notes on the 4K of this, because I actually really did think that this 4K was better than the original 4K. I thought it was a really good looking 4K.
It looked great, yeah.
Yeah, it did.
Very good.
best part about the movie was watching this in 4K. I really did enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
The CGI doesn't age well, but you know what? I'm starting to think that 4K just makes CGI just look worse as the years go on.
Did you have a skip? There was a scene that skipped for me on this. I might have a smudge on my disc.
I don't remember anything. Nothing that stuck out. Nothing that was like gonna really like take me out.
Because mine froze for a second, and I actually had to get up and wipe it. But there was no smudges on it, so I was wondering if...
I had discs that had that happen. My Titanic skips in the same spot no matter what, and there's nothing on the disc. So, you know, it's like, can you get a replacement? Is it worth it? You know, you gotta kind of... If it's only for a second, I think you can look past it. But it was a great 4K. It sounded great, just like the original. It sounded amazing. Definitely grab that set if you can. But just like the original, you can get a brand new one. Just get it individually from Best Buy. And maybe that's the option you want to look at.
I believe this set is discontinued, though, because I bought this used, actually, after seeing yours.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's a newer set with all of them that actually has Fallen Kingdom in it, if I'm not...
I'm pretty sure you're correct in that. It's just the same one, just with Fallen Kingdom added.
But it's not as nice.
No, it's not. This one, the original set, is the nicest, actually.
This is beautiful, yeah.
If you could somehow find one or scoop that up from some kind of like bargain bin or something like that.
This is the 25th anniversary set.
Definitely, that's from 2018. Make sure you grab that. I would definitely recommend that. Matt clearly recommends that. And yeah, we're going to put this at number 2, like we said, and make sure you guys come back next week because we're probably talking about the redheaded stepchild of the series in Jurassic Park 3. So, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and you tell all your friends.